first of all, Jeff Hardy's singles run, I'm sure, like me, Matt, you could see that being a thing. Maybe not for the main belt, but he's got, you think of his star power with the fans. He's well over whenever he comes out, Jeff Hardy. He always has been. So I know he could have it, but it's all about Matt Hardy, Matt. I mean, a lot of people, they want to see broken Matt. Is there anything that we can shed any light on that, Matt? Or do you think that WWE is going to run it down and, like Amy said here, just going to burn them out?
Well, I think everyone wants to see broken Matt. It's the best work of his career, really. And it is a shame that it's not really being put in the limelight, so to speak. I'm not really sure what the thinking is behind that, or why they're not pushing forward with that, or even if they can't do that gimmick, can't they just do something with Matt that isn't the old, tired Hardy Boys image, or as they should be called now, the Hardly Boys, because they're pretty old these days. They should have reinvented themselves by now, not just working off of their younger days. I think Jeff did kind of had his kind of singles run, when they did the Intercontinental thing, and they said it'd been, this many years since he'd won it last, and they made a big deal of that, but they made a good job of, like you said, wearing him down. They made it look like Jeff was too old to compete with the younger stars. The Miz sort of beat him, and it wasn't made a big deal of. But I would like to see them both have that one last, big push, because they do deserve it. They did give WWE some of the best years of their career, and although they've had their issues, they've always bounced back from them and shown their professionalism to actually make that effort to get back into the bigger picture.
Yeah, I don't know what the contract status is with the Hardys. Here's the one thing I'll say. If WWE don't keep them on, they're going to have work, guaranteed work elsewhere, whether it's back at Ring of Honor. They could easily go there. I don't suspect he'd want to go back to Impact Wrestling, but I'm sure they could go to Ring of Honor. And, even they wouldn't, because I don't think they'd both be even. But imagine them in Japan, Matt. Sort of things they could do. Yeah. They'd find that sort of stuff very fascinating, I'm sure, the fans. But it's a shame they can't get that whole gimmick, whether they want it enough. I don't think they want it enough, personally. I think that there's something internal going on, because if they really did, trust me, they would sort a deal out. They'd get a deal, they'd get the lawyers involved, and it would be done. Because, listen, Impact Wrestling, what the hell are they holding on for at this point? There's nothing there that surely they could think there's any real point in not having Matt use that gimmick. So I think it's more of a WWE thing. I just think that they don't want to have something that maybe Matt wants a little bit of creative hand in producing and the way it's done, and would they do it right. So it's a real shame, because I think when they come in as the Hardy Boys, trust me, at WrestleMania, I thought that was absolutely fine that they turn up as the Hardy Boys. I thought that was fine. But then, when you get the commentators, Matt, doing those little sort of they try and tease you with it, because they're saying they said stuff's starting to, I'm sure they said some of the words, some of the quotes, like obsolete and stuff like that. And, you're thinking, oh, right, they are going to get there at some point, but it's just never happened. It's not gone round. So I thought what they were going to do is sort of wait until the Hardy Boys, they win the belts, and stretch that for as long as they can, and then do the whole sort of broken Matt stuff. Even if you don't call him broken Matt and call him something else, but just have that kind of thing. Imagine those videos again, and just all the funny stuff. I think it just gives such a different outlook. I mean, you could put that in a big sort of program. Quite frankly, whoever he goes up against would be really fascinating. It'd be a lot more fascinating than watching Bray Wyatt do his videos at the moment, in all honesty. So, yeah, it's a shame that we're not going to get that. Matt, do you think there's any chance? What's the percentage, Matt, of out of 100 here of ever seeing the broken Matt gimmick portrayed in WWE to its max?
The broken gimmick, I would say I'd say 20%, but Matt modifying that gimmick and turning it into something else, I would say would be a much higher percent. I'd give it around a 45%.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be under 50% in both of those, I would say, with you there. I just don't see them being that interested at the moment, which is a real shame, because that whole gimmick, I thought that's why the hell they wanted him. I mean, I thought that was the value. I didn't know they were that bothered for Matt Hardy. Even Jeff, I mean, I'm surprised, in a way, that it wasn't just Matt, because you thought, at the time, Matt Hardy was the biggest of the two. I mean, it's odd, because you think of Jeff as being the one, but Matt Hardy last year was the one you wanted to see. It wasn't Jeff, it was all about Matt. So it's interesting how things have worked out now. Thank you for your question though, Amy. Sorry about we couldn't give you any good news on that. Well, as we come to the end of our podcast, just want to remind everybody that following this podcast immediately will be the first part of the Bret the Hitman Hart timeline. Don't miss it, folks. It's a really, really good one. I know we've had like a boom with Diesel, so I think this one's going to be really big because it's Bret, but I don't think you're going to be let down. And again, if you want to email us questions about the Bret the Hitman Hart Part 1, by the time we come back for our next regular show, we'll be able to take those questions. Email us in at wrestleline@gmail.com. And don't forget as well, folks, you voted. We're going to be doing it just for you. Survivor Series 1996. We're going to bring that out the week of Survivor Series. So myself and Matt will be sitting down. Looking forward to going back to that as well, Matt. I think it'll be a nice... just set us up in the right mood for it. Because I believe they had quite a lot of traditional Survivor Series matches going on. I still think they kept to that. So that'll be pretty cool. And again, for anybody that's unfamiliar, just to give you a little flavour of that night. I know the two main events, which was the very popular on this podcast, always has been Psycho Sid. He challenges Shawn Michaels, the boyhood dream Shawn Michaels back then, and it's also the first encounter of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart. And it's from Madison Square Garden. So join us for that when we bring that out. Happy to have you with us. Matt, thank you very much for coming back on the return show. I'm hoping of the chance of you've still got it for both of us at the end of this from our listeners. But hopefully we have still got it. And we're not that rusty. If we are, I do apologise on behalf of both of us. But Matt, thank you very much for coming back onto this. And your voice has held out very well for this long comeback on this night for our podcast.
Yeah, I think it's helped using it a little bit, and I thoroughly enjoyed getting back into the current side of things. It's been a long time to sort of recuperate and get our teeth back into the business. Sure,
yeah, we're definitely going to be around now. It's definitely going into WrestleMania next year. We're going to be the current stuff will definitely be there up until that point. So, yes, get in touch, keep listening, keep supporting the podcast. Very appreciated for those that do. And don't forget, guys, immediately following this, you'll be able to download the Bret the Hitman Hart show. Okay, I'm done plugging. Matt, thank you, as I said before, for coming on. And we'll be back, folks, in a couple of weeks. We're going to be back in a fortnight for the next show. Don't miss it. And also that week will probably be Survivor Series anyway. So you'll have an extra load as well that week. So that'll be good. Until then, folks, have a good one. We'll see you next time on Wrestle Line.